let's jump in and talk a little Ha-seong Kim. A very mixed reaction is fair from Padres fans about the departure. Ha-seong Kim played 4 seasons in San Diego and clearly became a fan favorite, a clubhouse favorite, Manny Machado's bestie on the left side of the infield. And in one of those 4 seasons, 2023, Ha-seong Kim had an outstanding year.
Yep.
I think finished, 14th in the MVP voting.
Yep.
Was a Gold Glove utility Gold Glove winner. Hit for some power.
Yeah, 17 bombs.
Was just an all-around outstanding player in 2023.
60 RBI, 38 steals, OPS of 749. Yeah, man, that's a good season.
And based on pretty much that one season, because the other 3 seasons were somewhere between, fine and okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, when he got here, it was, first of all, I remember the day they signed him. We were together on the show, and we all went, huh? Who? How much? Holy God, what is happening, right?
Was it like 4 years, 28?
Yeah, and we were just blown away. We'd never heard of him. And again, credit to A.J. Preller and his scouts and combing the ends of the earth for good players. And they brought him in, and as soon as you watched him play, you went, my God, what a slick glove, what a fierce competitor. Going to need some work on catching up to the big league fastball, which is not uncommon for players from the KBO, not even a little bit. So fine, you give him a little bit of a leeway there.
In that first season, he struggled against the fastball.
Yep.
He got a little bit better as the year went on.
Yeah.
And then the next season was a little better, then a great season. And then last season kind of took a step back, had the injury, obviously, at the end in August that ended his year, but had committed some weird, errors early in the season, just seemed a little off.
Just was
for the
off.
First couple of months.
He was off. He had some wild base running issues. But again, like, if you got little kids and you say, hey, man, watch how that guy plays. Watch how he plays 162 games. That dude never took a play off. Honestly, I mean, I could sit here and say that right now. Like, I never saw him Cadillac it. I never saw him. He tried to get the most out of the talent that he had every time he was on the field. Not too many players you can say that about these days. Honestly, I mean, he was great. He was great. I really enjoyed watching Ha-seong Kim when he was at his best. He also drove me crazy at times, but that's not uncommon for a lot of players. I love Manny Machado like he's my son, but he drives me crazy sometimes. Maybe lay off a slider sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just comes with the territory. But the way, like, I will always remember Ha-seong Kim very fondly as a San Diego Padres fan.
I think that's fair. Some people thought, though, had he been healthy, that Ha-seong Kim could have commanded a 9-figure salary. So that injury that he suffered diving back to first base,
so brutal,
was pretty costly in terms of finances. He didn't really seem to have a lot of options. After the Giants signed Willy Adames, they had been, speculated as the leading candidate. His best friend, Young Ho Lee, was out in center field. They thought, okay, he's probably going to go there. Then they signed Adames. They didn't need another shortstop and infielder, and there wasn't a huge market out there, probably because no one saw the Tampa Bay Rays stepping in with what they eventually agreed on, which is a 2-year, $29 million contract. He can opt out after the first season. Now, will he have a good first season? He's not expected back until probably around May as he recovers from the surgery. But if he does have a great season, then he can hit free agency again and, try his luck, for 2026. If not, he gets a second year in Tampa to show that he's healthy and then go to free agency in 2027. But $29 million is great. It's more than he got in 4 years with the Padres, but it's not a 9-figure deal that some people were speculating on. As for the Tampa Bay Rays, as shocking as it was, Paulie sent the text, wow, no one saw that coming.
No.
And I agree. I wasn't thinking about it. Does kind of make some sense, replacing Wander Franco, needing a shortstop, and, trying to create some sort of value for a team that's going to be playing in a spring training facility all season long because of their ballpark damage from the hurricane. It's, I think, a fairly savvy ad. Well, they're a defensive-oriented team.
They're a savvy team. They're not going to, it's the worst, but they finally decide to extend and spend big money on a player, and it's Wander Franco, who's dating 14-year-olds. So, Yeah, I mean, they're like, you can see why they'd be a little gun shy moving forward. But is it more money than I thought Ha-seong Kim was going to get with a banged up shoulder? Yeah, of course it is. I mean, you got people out here going, he's probably going to end up signing for the minimum somewhere. No, it doesn't work that way. I mean,
Now 4 years under your belt.
Right, exactly. Like, it just does not work that way.
At that price, though, I have no problem with the Padres saying,
Same.
best of luck, so long. That did not make sense.
Honestly, that was refreshing to me as a Padres fan, that it just feels like time and time again, certainly you could think of several examples where instead of just shaking a guy's hand, riding out the rest of the contract, saying, hey, thanks for your time here, we wish you nothing but the best, good luck in free agency.
Yeah.
We haven't seen a ton of that. It's always been, here's a 6-year contract, here's a 5-year extension, here's another 7 years.
I think they've handed out so many of those too that the Padres probably should be a little bit more willing to let guys go. We have been without Ha-seong Kim so long on the Padres. I didn't forget about him, but there was not even a shred of me that thought he would come back here. I really didn't think they were going to spend the money on him.
There was the talk that, if he signed a lower deal to rebuild his value, the Padres might be a spot that would make sense for him, but not at 2 years and $29 million.
I don't think we have it. B, I don't think we should spend $229 on Ha-seong Kim right now. But, I'll miss him, dude. My kids loved him. I think a lot of kids loved him. He was a beloved figure here. And he just seems like a really, really good dude, man. A really, really good guy. A guy, when you think about what he brings to the clubhouse, along with a guy like Jurickson Profar, you've lost a lot of heart from your baseball team.
That's
right
on
now.
the back of a baseball
That's
card.
Right. You've lost a lot of heart.
This week, you've lost a lot of heart in Profar and Kim.
Oh, dude, we're not going to have any Korean calls anymore. Oh, well, we can pull them from Tampa Bay. I mean, we absolutely can find them and pull them from Tampa Bay and still.
Trust me, Ha-seong Kim hits a walk-off for the Rays at some
You'll
random point in June. We'll play those.
So you mentioned the Franco deal and why the Rays might be hesitant to give out big contracts. They don't, though, for non-Rays. This is the biggest free agent contract for a player that wasn't already on their team that the Rays have given out since Greg Vaughn in 1999, who was also a Padre leaving San Diego after he was on the 1998 team. He got 4 years, $33 million. This is the biggest contract they've given out since then. A quarter of a century of escalating baseball salaries, and they have just stayed completely out of the mix. And this is obviously around baseball. It's going to be a, shoulder shrug, $29 million, whatever. That's not a mega deal. But for the Rays to go outside of their own system to give a contract like this is a mega deal for the Rays. And that's why it did raise some eyebrows around Major League Baseball yesterday.
Yeah, Satan's Blowfish, I remember this. He says supposedly the other big offer that they did make in the last few years was to Freddie Freeman. I don't know if he ever confirmed that, though. That would
we heard those rumors for sure. But, being the, finishing second, Toronto Blue Jays in your offers is not worth anything at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Kimmy was great. We had a lot of fun, watching him play, talking about him. Certainly made some spectacular plays defensively. Won a Gold Glove here. Like I'm bummed to see him go, but it doesn't break me.